Happy Monday, all you mentees. Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And welcome back to the graphic novel Hidden Gems segment. Today I get to talk about 5 graphic novels that not a lot of people talk about, or I don't see these books get enough love for. So, let's get started with this list. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before getting started, I want to go ahead and thank our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing videos like this without the support of you all. So in the link of our description, we do have in our description of the video, we have a link to our Patreon. And it's a great way to support the channel if you can do so. So, yes, this is one of my favorite segments. This is the segment that I get to talk about these books that I have read over the years, whether they were sent to me, whether I bought them on a whim based on the cover, or whether I've had them for a long time and I just feel the need to talk about them. So what I do every month is go to my bookshelves and go, I don't think I've talked about this book. Now, I've been doing this for quite a number of years. So if you see a book that I've already talked about on a Hidden Gem segment, by all means, please leave those comments down below. Maybe I should keep a spreadsheet. I think that's what people call it. A spreadsheet. Who knows? I just started using a calendar in 2021. It was a wonderful creation. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And I do have Astonishing Melanie helping me out with one book that she really wants to talk about. Kicking off the list this month is Battle Cats by Mark London, Michael Camelo, and Julian Gonzalez. This is printed over at Mad Cave Studios. And I've actually had the chance to interview Mark London. It was a company that he himself started because he had a fond love of comics. This was brought to my attention by one of my viewers, Darkstar916, a few years back. I actually did a thorough review on it. This is available in trade paperback. There have been talks of a hardcover, but so far there are 3 trades, and then there's kind of like a handbook trade paperback as well. So if you enjoy fantasy books, I'm talking magic, swords, spears, and anthropomorphic animals, this is the book for you. Pretty much, it's the story of the 5 cats that are handpicked from these 5 different regions of Valderia. So you have the main characters are Kelthan, Kalira, Vaela, Mekar, and Sorian. And all 5 of them have their own personalities, and their roles are to defend the realm of Valeria against opposing forces. So of course there's fantasy elements in here, but then there's also things that are borrowed from the real world. There's betrayal. There are political movements going around in the background. The world building in this is what I enjoyed about the first volume so much. The one thing I will say is that the world building is so big that it's so hard to do within that first volume. But I do enjoy the fact that they throw maps in here. I enjoy the fact that there are some flashbacks in here to kind of help build that particular world and the world of like the cat lord or the lion god that is in here in the past. So I love the dynamic between each of the characters, and like I said, it also shows that there's a historical heritage, and each region is a little bit different, so there really could be a bunch of spin-offs. I'm not sure when they plan on ending it. I'm looking forward to seeing this hardcover, hopefully collecting all of Battle Cats. But for the meantime, what is available are the 3 trade paperbacks. You can order them directly from Mad Cave, or you can order them from one of our sponsors that I'll be talking about in a little bit. But absolutely, I would say this is teen. I wouldn't have a problem with either of my kids, 10 or 13-year-olds, reading this particular title. Mercury Heat by Kieran Gillen, Omar Francia, and Nahuel Lopez, printed by Avatar Studios. Now, Avatar is known for their type of books that are gratuitous and violent, so I think to play it safe, I'm going to say this one is mature content. There are only 2 trades available of this particular story. So this is written by Kieran Gillen, the same gentleman that gave us Wicked and the Divine, gave us Young Avengers. We're currently writing X-Men, and I'm a big fan of his X-Men run. I think his X-Men run is one of the most underrated X-Men runs. But we are here to talk about Mercury Heat. So if you enjoy a bunch of violence, a bunch of sci-fi tech, a bunch of strong language, then this is the book for you. And when I say mature, I'm mainly talking about the language and the violence. That's what I think would label this as a mature book. So this is the story of a lady named Luisa Bora, who is kind of like a bounty hunter in this alternate future. But she wants to be a police officer. But because of her DNA, she's limited to what she can do because they base it on their personalities in this possible future. So on her way to Mercury, she's implanted with this crystal, and the crystal acts like almost like a Google, like in are Google Eyes still a thing? Sort of like that. That can kind of, it's like, gives you access to all this knowledge, and you can speak the Mercurian language. So that's what she is sent to do. She is sent to Mercury, where she's trying to get a job as a police officer. She's even like cutting her normal fees by 20%. So she can actually get a job. So she's investigating these thefts that couldn't be investigated earlier because of the rotation of the planet. So it's really cool, actually. Like, there's a lot of sci-fi elements in here, and that's what I enjoyed about it. But that's pretty much how it starts. There is a murder mystery. There's a lot of things that are playing behind the scenes. So this environment on Mercury is a lot different than the environment on Earth. Even the people and the way that they act towards her. I really like the idea of enhanced strength and enhanced speed through this particular suit that she's wearing. Like I said, the crystal helps out with this World Wide Web. She's connected to this thing called a grapevine, and grapevine is what, it's like a hologram that kind of gives her jobs. So for me, this book had intense action, it's mystery, suspense, and with a sci-fi twist. So that's what I enjoyed most about it. And of course, Louisa herself is adapting to this new life, so through her, you get to experience what the world, or I guess the planet of Mercury is like. The artwork by Francia at the beginning, I think, is not as clear and crisp as the artwork by Nahuel in the later half. Now, there are two trades of this, and both of them are the artists on both of the books. But I think I liked Lopez's artwork just a little bit more. It's a little more easier to follow, if you will. Not that there's anything wrong, but there is, halfway through the book, you are going to notice a change in the art. And I don't know, some people may find it a little jarring at first, but highly recommended as long as you're okay with violence and strong language.
The Wrong Earth by Tom Payer and Jamal Igle and many other creators, published by Ahoy Comics, which, by the way, stands for A-Hole of the Year, and is, I'd say, rated older teen. There's a couple of older teen things. All right, the story starts off with two Earths. Richard Fame is Dragonfly Man in both of them, Alpha and Omega Earth. This is definitely a huge parody of Batman, completely obvious, that Earth Alpha Dragonfly Man, who has a psychic stinger, is definitely the campy Adam West type of Batman, and Earth Omega Dragonfly Man is like literally based on All-Star Batman, and you can see in the notes in the back he is referred to as the GD Dragonfly Man. He lost his stinger, his sidekick, and he is very gritty, and he's ambiguous with his morals of trying to fight crime to protect Fortune City, whereas Earth Alpha Dragonfly Man is just beyond reproach. So both of them on their Earths are fighting number one, and they go through mirrors to chase their respective villains and end up crossing over into each other's Earths. I wouldn't say that hilarity ensues because they cross into each other's worlds. That it's a deeper story than that, and how they deal with the people around them. And then at the end of the book, that you find there is another villain that pops up that will be addressed in another trade paperback that is the Wrong Earth Night and Day, that is currently out and available, and I'm definitely going to pick it up. If you've read this hidden gem, let us know in the comments below what you think about it, and yeah, that's definitely my suggestion this month. It's not to be missed.
Moonstruck by Grace Ellis, Kate Leff, and Shay Beagle, published by Image Comics. This one here is all ages. Anybody can read it. There's no violence, or I mean, I guess maybe cartoon violence, if that. No, I don't think there's even that. Printed by Image Comics, and there are a total of 3 trade paperbacks. And this is Grace Ellis, the same lady that wrote Lumberjanes. So if you or your kids enjoyed that series, by all means, check this out. I actually enjoyed this a little bit more, but don't tell my daughter that because I know she loved Lumberjanes, so don't tell Miss Lydia that. So the premise of this, it all starts off, we get to meet the character of Julie, who is a barista working at like a Starbucks, and she's talking to Chet, who is her co-worker slash friend, about a date that she had the previous night. It's all going well. She thinks that this date will actually lead somewhere more magical and wonderful, and then you realize as the camera pans out and as they're handing drinks out that Chet is a centaur. So that's what this is. It's like this college town where a bunch of happily coexisting magical creatures live. So you're talking centaurs, you're talking ghosts, vampires, and Julie herself is a magical creature, but that's revealed at the end of issue 1, so you can find out exactly what she is. They have real life problems, they have romance, just much like we do. But I found it really cute. I found it really adorable. I liked this idea of just friends coexisting in this world, and they all come from different backgrounds. There is something that happens here where a magic show, this happens in issue 2, but I think it's the big problem in the first volume at least, is where Chet gets pretty much their magic taken out of them by this magician, and the rest of the book is, hey, let's go help Chet out, because now Chet is a normal human being and is no longer a centaur, so we have to go and get their magic back. So it's that type of story. To me, there were a lot of lovable characters in here, a quippy type of dialogue from time to time depending on the character, and there's some cute little jokes in there. And oh my gosh, what I really fell in love with though was the incredible artwork. And there's even a comic within a comic, because Julie is obsessed with this book series called The Pleasant Mountain Sisters. So it's kind of like Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys. They're all about solving mysteries. It's all these humans. But what I was going to say is the person that kind of ties it all together is Caitlin Quirk, who is the colorist. I love the use of colors because it really does feel like a cartoon. Now, I've said this on the channel before, but whenever I read books, I don't have to have a character look like me. We don't have to be even the same gender or anything like that. I just have to care about the characters, and I think that's another reminder of why I enjoy comics, is books like this. Like, none of these characters act like me or look like me. Maybe a couple personalities here and there with some of the, well, no, never mind, that's a little bit of a spoiler. But what I was going to say is that what this does remind me of, though, is like some of my daughter's friends. Like when they all get together and the way they talk, I overhear them because, you know, they're teenagers. So it kind of reminds me about some of the characters here. And maybe I think that's why I enjoyed this a little bit more than I probably would have. But this was introduced to me by TikTok Tina, my buddy TikTok Tina, who's on the channel from time to time. She told me to read this about 4 or 5 years ago, and I hadn't even heard about it. But that was also before I read the Lumberjanes. So, Habitat by Roy Simon, published by Image Comics. This is an all-in-one, and this is also mature content. To me, this is one of my favorite hidden gems this particular month, because I forgot how blown away I was the first time I read it. This was sent to me by my buddy Kyle, and he didn't tell me anything about it. He was just like, I know you enjoy stories by just sometimes reading them without having any prior knowledge as to what they're about. And that's the only thing that kind of sucks about doing hidden gems, is when I tell people about the story, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to reveal too much because part of the experience is going into books completely blind. But I also understand that, you know, there are certain stories that people gravitate towards more than others. So I kind of at least have to give you the basic premise of what these graphic novels are about. So Roy Simon, I remember from the comic Prophet. If you haven't read Prophet, oh my gosh, it's so good. One day we should get a hardcover of that. So this story takes place in some sort of spacecraft, space habitat, doesn't really matter. So it's happened years after some kind of cataclysm that the people living in this society have forgotten about. So society has devolved, and people are, of course, at war with each other, because that's what happens when society devolves. We start fighting amongst each other. So we have HAPSEC, which is the old security class. They keep people, or what they call them as civvies, in feedlots. And, well, there's a cannibalism in here, I will say that. Now, there are some characters throughout the book that maintain memories from the past, or just how to use things like a key card or 3D printers, which plays actually an important role in this particular story. I think this one here reads more like a European comic, not just in the look of the artwork, but also the way that it's written. It moves at a fast pace, and you feel like there are some things that are missing from your reading experience, but it's all there. I love this book. I thought it was excellent. I just reread it last night again, and I was reminded that why isn't this in hardcover format? So, you have a post-apocalyptic world, people turning on each other. There's something new and interesting to look at in every page. And sometimes the panels, I'm surprised by how many panels that Simon gets to use in each page. There is a character that you follow through here, but I think it's more about the world building than the character of Cho. But I think this one you'll benefit from knowing less about and just going into it a little bit blind. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, most of these books are available from our sponsors. If you live in Europe and are interested in pre-ordering or purchasing Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU. Flat shipping of €9.90 for EU countries. Extremely careful and sturdy packaging. Emails are answered within 24 hours. And they have a superb selection of new releases and out-of-print books on their website. Just head over to waltscomicshop.com for more great deals and rare titles. And for a limited time, you can use the code nearmintcon, all one word, at the checkout for free shipping to all EU countries with your first order. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was our hidden gems for the month of June of 2022. Let me know in the comments down below. That's another one of my favorite things, is when I ask people what they suggest I read, what are hidden gems in their eyes. I have an entire list that I'm working through just based on the last 2 years alone of people suggesting things, and I promise I will get to those books, and you may see them here. And of course, if you've read any of these, what books really didn't click with you, what books worked with you. This was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Everyone stay healthy and safe. I will see you next month. Well, no, I'll see you tomorrow. We put out videos every day, but I'll see you next month if this is your cup of tea, the Hidden Gems segment.